around some of these. Why is it that everybody thinks I'm crazy? Those kinds of things, because you're going to hit them, and the reason you're going to hit them is because you're doing something very different from what everybody else is doing in the world. Um, I um, I came across an interesting fact a couple of weeks ago, and some of you have heard me say it, but I'm going to say it again. Back around the turn of the century, around 1900, 90% of the population was self-employed. They worked for themselves. They did not have a boss. They were in charge of their own income. Today, 90% belong to some company or work for the man, work for somebody. They are not their own people anymore. You, by becoming a public adjuster, are going to become your own person. You are not going to be working for somebody. You're going to be working for yourself. And that just seems crazy to so many people that they just don't even know what to think of someone who's willing to look outside the box like that. So you're going to find that, and that's okay. I mean, if we weren't crazy, we'd all be the same anyways. So who wants to be the same? So what I want to do is I want to talk about that tonight, and I have a short deck. It's about 13 slides. I'm going to go through them pretty quick, and then we'll go through real life scenarios of things that people are having happen to them, and we'll deal with them directly. So the first thing I want to say is that you don't need to be on defense. You don't have to be in a position where you're trying to justify yourself. Anticipate issues and hit them in advance so that they are no longer an issue. There's a lot of things like the idea of being independent. That's something that I would say right up front is, I know a lot of people work for a job, but I'm trying to build my own business and work against the grain. And so this may not be for everybody, but it's for me, and I'm trying to make a go of it. You basically try to handle something in advance. One issue that sometimes comes up is that 4 or 5 years ago, a couple of independent insurance companies made a real effort to torpedo us by putting bad reviews out on the internet, and some of them are still out there, and some of your clients may see them, and they aren't real. They're not. There's no verification of them. There's nothing. It's just they're there. And so what I do is I'll sometimes talk about it, the fact that we've been so successful that we've been targeted by some independent insurance companies to try and take us out, so that we would not affect the settlements that they were trying to obtain for their insurance carriers. If I hit that up front, it no longer becomes an issue on the back end. If somebody sees that in the future, they're going to remember, oh yeah, Peck dealt with that. He told me that insurance companies put those out there. It's no longer an objection because we hit it in advance. In the presentation, you'll see that I talk about the fact that without a public adjuster, people get somewhere between 17 cents on the dollar to 30 cents on the dollar. Why do I do that up front? Because what I'm doing is I'm taking away the objection of the 35% fee that we have for handling a claim. If you know already that getting 65% of that fee of that claim is double, sometimes triple or quadruple what I could do on my own, then the 35-cent fee doesn't seem as important. It's not as much of an issue because the homeowner is getting more money anyways. So dealing with objections up front is a really smart way of handling objections. So what are the objections that come up? They're all the same. It's like I've been doing this for 7 years, and it's like everybody's got the same questions. a lot of that is because the insurance companies have come up with marketing plans that have been just absolutely tremendous. The lawyers were saying that in convention, in a couple of the classes they did. They said the insurance companies have had some of the most remarkable marketing programs of any company at any time, anywhere. Since the 80s, they've been telling people, oh, be careful of contractors that want to put in a claim for you. They're committing insurance fraud. No, they're not. But the insurance said that, and so all of a sudden now people are concerned and scared about putting in an insurance claim and thinking that, oh my gosh, if I put in an insurance claim, it's going to be fraud and I'll go to jail. No. That is a real bad position to be in, but that's where the marketing has gone. It's an absolute falsity. It is absolutely false. So that's one of the things that we need to bring up. And again, if we bring it up, then it's no longer an objection because it's dealt with before it's something that the client starts eating at their brain. Will I be canceled or dropped? Again, this is an issue because sometimes that'll happen in auto insurance. I always like to talk about the fact that we are very different from auto insurance. And I like to actually kind of compare ourselves to health insurance. You don't lose your policy if you go to the doctor. Well, the same thing is true with your home insurance. You're not going to get canceled just because you use your policy. That's what it's there for. So, there's a difference between using the policy and abusing it. Abusing it is like 4 to 5 claims in a 3-year period. That's way outside the norms. And so that's something that's going to trigger the insurance company to do something, either raise your rates or cancel you. Can you negotiate the fee? I like making sure people understand that the fee is not a negotiable item. The fee is what it is, and they are paying for 27 years of work in developing our ability to negotiate with insurance companies to understand their policies, and if they think they can do the same, then they're welcome to try. But then if they want to use us, we're going to charge them 50% of any additional money that we can get. That's all. I don't negotiate.
When can you charge the 50?
If somebody has been given the first off, it has to be a no fee cap state, obviously. But when someone has been given the opportunity to work with me and they've chosen to do it on their own, then I say that's fine, but let's understand that if you do want my services in the future to get additional money, we'll split that 50-50.
Oh, wow. Okay. I didn't know we could do that. I think I got taken one time and it's still a
sore spot.
Yeah.
Now, Abahi, another thing that I'll do is that if it's a reopen, I'll oftentimes tell the client that we charge 35% of the total settlement. But what we will do is we will do 35% of the total settlement or 50% of any additional monies, whichever is less.
Why less?
Because that way I'm never taking away from them money that they've already received.
And we're taking the lesser of the two.
So let's say, for example, a client gets $10,000, right? Our fee at 35% would be $3,500, right? Okay, so let's say I reopen that claim and I'm able to get them $5,000. So am I going to take, if I take 35%, I'm going to take away money out of the $10,000 that they've already gotten. But if I take 50%, I'm going to walk away with $2,500, which is not a bad fee. And the client walks away with an additional $2,500 beyond the $10,000 that they already thought they were going to get. So they're happy.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. I did not know I had that type of fighting power because I'm just like...
No, you definitely do.
You're going to hang out in these meetings more, Abahi, and learn more.
The DocuSign actually allows you to put that kind of verbiage in under the fee component. under the fee variable.
Hey, Paul, can I just add one thing, please? When you were talking before, what they told us at the convention was they actually used, our lawyers actually used one of the commercials of the insurance company against them, which the insurance company then turned around and settled after they played the commercial.
Yeah, especially the farmers commercial where they say they'll handle a zombie apocalypse. Because the assumption that the client is left with is that, of course, they're going to fix my roof if they're going to handle a zombie fight. All right. So, how much do you think it's worth? Just give me a ballpark. You don't have to tell me exactly, but give me a ballpark. How many of you guys have hit that? I mean, just about everybody. If you haven't hit it, you will. And what I'm going to tell you is, you never. Let me make sure you hear that one more time. You never give them a number. Never, never, never. Why? Let's say, for example, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to get the client $10,000. So I say, listen, I'm pretty sure this claim is worth $10,000. Don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be able to get you $10,000. Now, unbeknownst to me, there's additional damage on the floor. And so now the insurance company is balking at replacing the floor. They'll refinish it. Okay? So now it's only worth $6,000. I got that client $6,000 that they probably couldn't have gotten on their own. But do you think they're going to be happy with me?
No.
No. They expected $10,000. I only got them $6,000. Do you think that they're going to refer me to anybody?
Nope.
No. No. I've lost a referral. That's just all it's done is hurt me. Now, let's look at the other side of it. Let's say I say it's worth $10,000 and I actually get the $10,000. Have I gotten this client really excited? I just did what I said I would do. I didn't give them anything special. They're going to come back to me and say, hey, how come you couldn't do anything more? You just got me what you expected. I could have probably done that. Right? Now I've screwed myself on that end.
Can't win.
You cannot win, Charles. You really can't. You're absolutely right.
And even when you get the amount of money you do, a lot of times they're not happy with that either.
Yeah. So,
Hey, Paul, can I ask you a question?
sure.
So if you're given, say you get $10,000, you get your 35%, they're getting $6,500. What are they paying out of pocket against the $10,000 claim to get the work done because you've got your $3,500?
Who knows? It depends on. They may not even do the work.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, they may decide that they had pine wood and they want to go up to mahogany or cherry. You know, so maybe they're going to get a cherry floor. That's going to be more expensive anyways. There's no way the insurance company would have covered that to begin with. But they've upgraded their home and they got some money towards the upgrade. They that's a tremendous thing.
But don't they ask you when you say, like when the claim?
Let me ask you, Charles, just to kind of make sure we're in perspective. At what point does the insurance company tell you they're going to give you enough money to make repairs?
Never.
Exactly.
Okay.
They're going to get 17 cents to 30 cents on the dollar. I'm getting them 65 cents on the dollar. If they couldn't do the repairs with me, how could they possibly do the repairs from what the insurance company was going to pay them?
Well, I just want to see what that position is, so I would.
Yeah, no, and that's what we're talking about. That's exactly right. That's why we're going through these, because all of these things are. I don't want to be. You guys know me already. You know I'm not politically correct. All these questions come from ignorance. Okay, you've got ignorant clients, and if you're the one that asked the question, then you asked it because you're ignorant.
Were you sharing your slides, Paul? Hey, Paul, were you trying to share slides before? Because you're not.
Oh, dang blast it. Am I now?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You see, that's age. Joe, we're in trouble.
Senior moment. Senior moment.
Yeah, we're in trouble, Joe. But let's just let you know that if I can do this, you can do it too. You don't have to be perfect. All you got to do is try. All right, so these are questions that really just show that the client doesn't know what they're talking about, and that's okay. We don't expect them to, but what we have to do is we have to understand that they're going to come up. I'll see what the insurance company will do first. I kind of addressed that already. It's like, that's fine, but understand you're going to put yourself in a position where I may not be able to save you. Remember, one of the things that we do is we make sure that the client doesn't talk directly with the insurance company. One of the benefits of having us in between is the fact that the client can tell us something. We then share that with the insurance company, and we're sharing it as fact because that's what we know. We don't know that the client lied to us, but if we work straight up with what the client has told us, we're not committing insurance fraud. They can't say the same thing. So if they tell the insurance company that, well, yeah, these shingles came off over the course of about 2 years with about 4 or 5 storms. Now, can I go to the insurance company and get all those shingles replaced? No, that's now wear and tear. That roof is on the homeowner at that point. They screwed themselves. And there's no way I can make it right. I can't fix it. It's like my Haitian family that the homeowner told the insurance company that he had another apartment. I couldn't get that house. That house burned down, and I wasn't able to get that family paid because he talked to the insurance company before I was able to talk to him. Sometimes you can't fix it, and that's the risk. And I tell that Haitian story every time somebody tells me number 6. Every time somebody says, well, I'll see what the insurance company will do first, I'll say, let me tell you a story. And do you guys know my story or no? No,
No, I've never heard it before, Paul. Why don't you tell me?
All right, so I had a client call me. They said, hey, listen, our house burned down. You sent us a letter saying that you could help us. We need your help. So I went to the homeowner and I talked with them about the house. And they told me that the insurance company denied the claim. And I couldn't understand why. I said, this house, it's owned properly. The fire was an accident. So we took it on. What we didn't know is that the client had told the insurance company that he owned the house. He was a 27-year-old kid. He was the youngest. His parents lived on one floor and his aunt lived on another floor. And his cousin had started a fire in the basement by putting too many heaters into one extension cord. So that had started a fire in the house. And the whole house burned down. Well, he told the insurance company that he lived, I don't know who's talking, but if you can mute yourself.
That's Joe.
Joe, can you mute yourself? Can you mute yourself? Or I'm going to have to mute everybody. Okay, thank you. So, at any rate, he told the insurance company that he lived in an apartment 5 days a week because his job had moved him down to, a township that's about an hour and a half from where his house was that he originally bought. But he came home on weekends, and he came home and he would live there in the week. But his mom and his aunt took care of the house while he was gone. Well, the insurance company said that he did not live in the home, that he had the wrong insurance policy because he had a homeowner's insurance policy and not a dwelling policy, and therefore the insurance company didn't owe him on this claim. We proved to the insurance company that he had the utility bills in his name, everything was in his name, they were being paid out of his account. What we didn't know is that he had registered to vote where he lived in his apartment. The insurance company, because he told them that he had that apartment, did a search and were able to find that he had his voter registration out of the apartment in Cherry Hill instead of in the home in East Orange.
Moral of the story.
Moral of
Don't
the
talk to
story.
the insurance company clients.
And now you have a story that you can share with your people when they come and they say, well, I'm going to see what the insurance company will do. And
Also,
you can
be
say,
very careful of where you register to vote.
yeah, that is considered your permanent residence, is where you register to vote. That is your primary residence. So if you own a home and that is not your primary residence, you have to make sure that the insurance company understands that that is not your primary residence. It can still be sometimes like a summer home can be on a homeowner's policy, but they have to understand that it's not a year-round home. Okay, so if the insurance company believes that that is your permanent residence, and you actually have an apartment that you live in, you are screwed. Okay, so now everyone here has a story to answer number 6. And you have a very good reason to explain to clients why they cannot talk to the insurance company on their own. They will only hurt themselves.
So, Paul, do you get challenged by the customers, like playing you against the insurance company? Well, let me see what they're going to do for me and I'll get back to you kind of thing? Or
Yeah.
are you there in a capacity where they believe you're going to help them and that's why you're there?
It depends on the ego of the person, of the client. You know, if I've got some high-powered lawyer that thinks he's the next thing since God, you know, he thinks that he can do a better job. Well, great. You know, lawyer, you go ahead and you do your thing. But let me take a look at your settlement afterwards, and if I can get you extra money, I will, but I'm going to charge you 50%.
Well, I had a claim in Washington State that was referred to me by a different client. This the husband was a smoker, so he was kind of in and out of the PCR. And at the end of it, he mentioned, well, let's see what the insurance company is going to do first, because he was looking at the percentage. Let's see what they're going to do first before somebody comes in and takes, you know, everything,
Right.
because I only think I'm going to get so much. That's my story.
Yeah, and so in those cases, what I do is I say, you know what, go for it. But if you hurt yourself to such an extent that I can't help you, don't yell at me. Okay? If you say something to the insurance company that screws up this claim, I'm not guaranteeing you I can get you any additional money. But if I can, we'll split it 50-50 because you're going to make me work harder. It's only fair.
Absolutely.
I have a contractor. Good for you. So do I. But do they have a public adjuster's license? Because if they don't, they're working for you illegally and they could be shut down at any point. So a contractor does not do what we do. And in fact, in some states, we can't do what we do if we are a contractor. In some states, you cannot work on the property if you're the public adjuster on that property.
Is that conflict of interest?
Yes, sir. In some states.
Yeah.
It's a very limited number of states, but there are some. I think Maryland is one of them. New Jersey is not. Pennsylvania might be. I don't know about Ohio.
I know in Ohio you cannot. You can't be licensed because they have a contractor's license in Ohio. In Georgia, there is no contractor's license, but I have heard one former insurance adjuster say that who is now a contractor, he couldn't adjust his own claims just because it is a conflict of interest really across the board. The more that they know that they can bump up the claim to increase their profit versus where you have a mediary who says this is how much you're owed and you find a contractor that can work with that budget.
So another interesting thing is that a realtor cannot be a home inspector and a home inspector cannot be a realtor, but both can be public adjusters.
That's not true in New Jersey, I do not believe.
It is true in New Jersey.
Really? So a home inspector cannot be a public adjuster in New Jersey. Okay.
No. That's not what I said. A home inspector
It's
cannot
not.
be a realtor.
Oh, yes.
A home inspector it makes one of the best public adjusters you can get. When somebody says that I do home inspection, I say, oh man, you and I are going to become best friends, because they have the potential of writing claims every day. Because what do? They're in homes every day.
I
So
was looking into becoming a home inspector before all of this happened. It's still kind of on my things I should look into list.
yeah, it's a very complimentary job. You look at the home differently than a public adjuster does, but it's still complimentary. How long will it take? Never give a fixed time frame on it. I always say 3 weeks to 3 months is average. That's a big average, but that's average, and that I've had claims that have gone on for 15 to 18 months. Now, those have been large claims. Those have been really, like $300,000 to $650,000 claims, but they have taken long. How does Metro get paid? Again, I'm very clear about the fact that we get paid out of the proceeds of the claim. It's a fee. It's not even though we use the term commission, it's a fee. Okay, so I don't like using the term commission a lot, because some people don't want to be salespeople, and if they hear the term commission, they think they're in a sales job. We are not salespeople.
Professional services fee.
It's a fee, yeah. So that's what it is, and we get it paid out of the proceeds of the claim, just like a lawyer gets paid out of the proceeds of a lawsuit. It's the same kind of situation. Can I deal? Go ahead.
Has COVID actually affected your turnaround time on this claim from start to finish, as your 3 week to 3 month schedule? Has that been compromised through the past year on all this BS?
No, because what's ended up happening is a lot of claims have been done virtually, where the insurance company accepts our estimate as long as we have good pictures and a good exactimate estimate behind it. So we've actually had some claims come in faster because of it.
Oh, cool.
So yeah, no, it has not affected it detrimentally. Can I deal with the insurance company too? Only if you're stupid. I mean, yeah, I guess you can, but I'm sorry. I told you I was not politically correct, guys. Don't hold it against me.
No filter.
No, you don't deal with the insurance company. If you deal with the insurance company, what do you need me for? So you deal with the insurance company, you see how well you do. If you screw it up, I'm not guaranteeing you I can fix it for you. So, I mean, I think that's a real wild card. I do
got a
not.
question for you.
I do not let my clients talk with the insurance company, and most of them don't want to talk with the insurance company. Renee.
Okay. I have a claim of my own, and it's been 4 months. Almost 4 months. So, do I...
Who's the adjuster?
It's in the appraisal.
Oh, it's in the appraisal. That's beyond. That's outside. You're already into the 3% at that point. All right, 97% of claims get settled without going to appraisal. So there's something strange and goofy about your claim.
Well, you know what it is. It's the roof issue.
Yeah, I know. And John is working hard to get you a full compensation for it.
I don't
think it's
think
John,
John
isn't
is
it?
doing it. I think it's another person from Metro.
Okay.
Yeah, because Bill referred it to someone else.
Oh, to Brenda maybe.
No,
Yeah.
Brenda don't have it. It's a guy. It's a guy.
Good. Okay.
Do they have more than just one rad adjuster?
They do now, yeah.
Oh, okay. Where are we, like 4
By the way, guys, always if you're putting in a claim, all of my claims reps, all of my senior claims reps, all of my professional associates that I work with, Abahi, other people, never submit a claim without an adjuster's name on it. Do not let the claim go to remote adjusting, please.
Or whoever they decide to assign to it.
I have had nothing but bad luck from remote adjusting, and that means claims that have been closed that should never have been closed because they were good claims, right, Stacy? Where are you, Stacy? Her claim was closed and it shouldn't have been closed. There's other people that
Yes,
had.
that did happen.
Yep, you see. So don't do it. Just put. If you don't know who to put on it, put my name on it. Put Abahi's name on it if it's down in Georgia.
I think there was a name on mine though.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Brenda Hefner.
Yeah, Brenda Hefner.
Yeah, she's inside. She's remote adjusting.
Oh, okay.
So if you're in Georgia, I put Abahi's name on my claims in Georgia. Abahi is one of the best adjusters in the company. So use her. If you're in Virginia, put my name on it. If Joe is too busy, then put my name on it. If you're in Ohio, put my name on your claim. If you're in Western Pennsylvania, there's a couple of people that you can use. Call me. I'll give you some names. Let's make sure that we put
Jason.
a good person on these claims that you're going to get paid well on. Okay, I'm not a really good adjuster, but I follow through and I get it done. Okay, so you know I'm going to get you paid. I'm going to get you paid well. I just don't handle a lot of claims because it's just not worth it. In Jersey, we've got a lot of good.
We've got some really, really good people. The other thing I do is when I put the person's name on, the adjusters on it, I put in comma already involved. And I've never had a claim taken away from me to assigned to another adjuster.
So in New Jersey, Bill Zisa is really good. In Eastern Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Virginia, Joe Watson is the guy. Joe Watson he's an animal.
South Jersey, we have Mr. Don Imachek.
Don Adamczyk in Central Jersey,
Okay.
anywhere in Jersey, he's good.
Larry.
That we can refer to.
Yeah, there is a list out there. I should probably put together a
Preferred.
Mesco team list.
Yes, please. All right.
That's probably a good thing for us to talk to John about and figure out who are the good adjusters in each of these states.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't realize that that's what was happening, but now I do see it looking back at a few of my claims that and I think also what is missing most is, for the ones I dealt with at least, is the in-person inspection.
The scope, you got it exactly right, Abahi. That is where it falls apart.
Yeah.
I can do a remote walkthrough with the insurance adjuster because I can have the client walk me through with their cell phone, and I can talk the insurance adjuster through the damage. I cannot do a scope as well as I want to remotely.
Yeah. Now some of them,
I know. Some of them require it.
Yeah, some of them require it, but I'm also thinking that some of them you can see that virtually, like, no, you don't have any damage to your home. I mean, you take a good look at some of the damages, maybe in a newer home or a home that it's actually, you can tell there's going to be like some marring or some type of exclusion out there, and you still can do the inspection with the homeowner walking around. But it's the ones that may be at an older home too, that it's kind of tough. And then you also may miss some roofing situations because it's really hard to get a good look at I think a roof.
So I had a client. I have a client down in Richmond, Virginia, which is a 5-hour drive for me, and I was trying to scope it remotely, and because of the damage that was on the roof, I wasn't sure, but what he might have interior damage as well because water could have gotten in through that roof. So how do I do that remotely? I just couldn't figure out a way of getting that done without a moisture meter or an infrared camera. So I drove the 5 hours down there. I was able to get in the house, and I was able to prove to myself that the room was dry. So, you know, it's just a roof claim, but I needed to do that to ensure that I was not missing something on the claim. And I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but It's really important. That could Abahi knows that could have changed the dynamics of that claim dramatically if there'd been interior damage. So sometimes you just have to do that, but you don't get that care from the remote adjusting. You're just not going to get it. You gotta be on site at some point.
How do you handle, Paul, the CWPs? When there isn't a damage, or the damage would be of such a small value over the deductible.
Okay, I thought you were going in a different direction. Say it again. I'm sorry. I am going to tell you straight out. I answered the question in my head before you were finished asking it, and I screwed up. Okay, I'm just going to let you know straight up.
No worries. I'm just curious, when you have to CWP a claim,
Yep.
What are your words to the insured?
Well, tell everybody what CWP means first.
So CWP means closed without pay. And what that means is that the claim was typically, it was too small for us to handle it properly. So there's two ways that I handle that, Abahi. One way is I say, listen, you have, let's say it's a $1,000 deductible. I need to be able to see at least 2 times your deductible in order to make it worthwhile for me to do this claim for you, and you end up with enough money so that you can make repairs. If I handle this claim and it's too small, I'm not going to be able to get you enough money to do the repairs that you want to do. And it's going to be better for you just to do this on your own, or not to do it at all and not use up a claim. You only are given 2 to 3 claims, so you don't want to use it up on something that's really small when something larger may happen, tomorrow or in 6 months. So that's one way I do it. The other way I do it is I'll also say sometimes that this is something that you can do better on your own than with me. Let's say, for example, it's a moisture spot in the middle of the ceiling. You and I know, Abahi, that the client could probably get that repaired just as easily as you and I could. We're not going to get the client that much more money for it because there's not a lot of variables related to a moisture spot in the center of the ceiling. So I will sometimes CWP that because I'm not going to be able to provide added value, and I'd rather have the client provide me referrals and use me 6 months from now when they need me, or 6 years from now when they need me, than to be upset with me because I took money out of their pocket.
Honesty and good faith.
Did I answer your question, Abahi?
Yeah, I forget. I go on mute, but yeah, absolutely, it did answer my question.
Okay. That's one of the reasons why we need to see smaller deductibles. One of the things that we as adjusters look at is, can we get the client at least 2 times what the deductible is? If that's a $5,000 deductible, that means we have to have a $10,000 claim in order to make it worthwhile, guys. That's crazy. Now, will we do something smaller than that? Yeah, especially if it's a training claim, and we're trying to get one of our trainees promoted. I'll talk that through with the trainee, and we'll figure out whether we want to go forward with it. But the baseline is 2 times the deductible. That can be a huge number. Can you guarantee I'll have enough to do the work? I told you the answer to that one. The answer is the insurance company doesn't guarantee you either. So these kinds of questions, if you let them, they're gonna make you lose your mojo. So fatigue is going to do it. Stress and disappointment from having people ask questions that have been just not right for you, and that's going to make it so that you're not going to be answering questions properly. You're going to start looking at things from a very, very closed perspective, which when you look at things from a closed perspective, you start missing damage that could be associated with a claim, which could in fact take away the entire objection, but now you're not looking at things as openly as you could have been. And then we start, getting a little bullheaded. At least I do. Restlessness. We start feeling like maybe this isn't the right thing, or maybe I'm not doing it right, or maybe this isn't for me. And confusion can come in. Handling objections takes time and patience, guys. You're not going to become a complete objection animal just by having spoken tonight and learned this tonight. What I do want you to know is that objections are almost always the same. And that as you work on them and as you do them and as you answer them, or as you hear me or Abahi or Robert or somebody else answer them, you will become stronger with the answers as well. And that's really what it takes. It's never too late to get back into the game. So, you can, the Pareto principle is that 80-20 rule. And 20% of your claims are going to give you 80% of your income. It's 80% of the claims are going to take up, 20% of your time, and 20% of the claims are going to take up 80% of your time. It's amazing how this rule works in just about everything. Learn to change the complaint or change the objection into a question. Okay? If you can do that, let's say, for example, you're hit with a question or you're hit with an objection that you haven't heard before. Get curious. Where does that come from? Why are they asking me that question? A lot of times, the curiosity when I'm hiring somebody is, well, this sounds like, is this multi-level marketing? It sounds like it's multi-level marketing. Is this multi-level marketing? And I can answer that no, but does that really answer what's going on with my recruit? No, it doesn't. Maybe it's better for me to say, really? What makes you say that? Now I'm starting a discussion. Now I can find out what's at the bottom of the issue. Well, because multi-level marketing has you paid on, other people's business, and it's passive income and it's residual income and blah blah blah. Oh, really? Okay. So how does it work in your company? How does sales work in your company? Get curious. Start asking questions rather than making an answer every time. Try to get to a little bit more deeply into it. You may find that they answer their own question, and I'll tell you what, that's a whole lot more valuable than you answering it for them.
But why would you mention the word sales if we're not salesmen? Why would you bring that into the conversation?
What do you mean? At what point?
Well, you just said you would say to the guy in response, well, how do you handle sales at your company? But you're telling us that we don't like to use the commission word because we're not salesmen.
Because they were using the term multi-level marketing, which is inferred on sales. Okay, what they're saying there, so Charles, what they're saying there is multiple levels of people get paid on a particular purchase, and that gets done, a sale that gets done. And what I'm saying there is that that's the way business is done throughout industry. If I'm a sales guy working in the high-tech world, which I was for 20 years, my sales manager got paid a piece of my business. My VP of sales got paid a piece of my business. It's the same thing as multi-level marketing. It's the exact same thing.
Right.
And that's what I was answering. I wasn't answering the question of, I don't want to do a sales position. That's a different, you're right, that would require a different kind of answer.
Yeah, because when you said, I was also thinking how it could be like that person thinks, oh, well, I'm going to be selling this business opportunity, which we don't. And also, too, I think, is this a I got that question today. Well, it feels a pyramid
scheme.
Because people, there's that team building, and we do have the slide that has the,
Yep.
lines that are formed in the shape of a triangle, but no, it's not. You don't have to recruit to make money in this business. That separates us from a pyramid or from pyramid schemes that was used to recruit.
There's a better answer to that, actually, Abahi. So a pyramid scheme is a pyramid. So the way I respond to that is this. Robert asked me if it's a pyramid scheme.
Paul, is it a pyramid scheme?
Robert, are pyramid schemes illegal?
As far as I know.
Okay. Well, our company is licensed by the state in 47 states. Do you think that the state is going to license an illegal act?
Not unless you're getting away with something you shouldn't.
No, we will. And after 27 years, they might pick up on it, right?
Probably.
Okay. So, yeah, no, we're not. No, we're not.
Yeah, that's a good one too, because it also helps them, answer yes, pyramid schemes are, illegal. So they will
Yeah.
answer their own question.
There's no way we could be doing something illegal and be licensed in 47 states for 27 years.
By the Banking Insurance Commission, which is one of the toughest commissions in each state to get a license.
Yeah, it just can't happen. And so that's a really good way of answering it, because what you're doing is you're letting the person answer it for themselves. Does that make sense? Does everybody understand what I'm saying there?
Yes.
Because
Make it
that's
credible.
important. It's important that people answer things themselves, if at all possible, because it's going to make more of an internal impact to them if they answer it for themselves. All right. What else do we have here? Let me see. A lot of times we get hurt because we don't we set goals out there that are really primary objectives, and we've got to really be careful about that. We got to make sure that what we are doing is outside of our reach but close enough that we can attain it. Do you know what I'm saying? So, Arnold and I had a conversation earlier today, and the whole purpose of that call was because he came up to me and he says, I don't know anybody that owns homes, and I don't know if I can do this. Well, not those weren't your exact words, Arnold, but I'm kind of paraphrasing it, right? So what did we do? We had a nice conversation. All of a sudden he says, oh yeah, the realtor that sold me my house is a friend through church. I could probably talk to her, couldn't I? Yes, Arnold. Yes, you can. Oh, my uncle does home improvement in North Carolina. Arnold, yes. So you see that we come up with things and we set these objectives way out there, and then what ends up happening is we forget all the fruit that's right in our hands. Okay? So don't do that. You've got a lot going for you. I know there's a bunch of you guys on this call tonight that don't think that you know anybody, Anakin, that owns a home, or I'm teasing with you just because I know you and because I know you can laugh at yourself like that. But that's but there's a lot of you who don't believe you know it, but you do. You really do. You just have to. And if you don't think you do, set up half an hour of time with me on my calendar, and we're going to go through it just like I did with Arnold. Arnold's got 3 different very potent tracks he can take to getting tens of hundreds of claims. Yeah, James, you do too. And I know you do because you're already writing them. Listen, guys, this is not a hard business to do. This is very simple. And you know everybody you need to know right now. You really do. You just have to understand how to approach and how to talk with them. And if you don't, talk to Robert, talk to Abahi, talk to me. We'll get you on the right course. We'll get you going to it. But, outreaching, and we spelled peers wrong there. I can't believe I didn't catch that. But you talk. Stop, Mike. I know. You're so bad. I gotta change it. I can't even look at it. But you can go beyond your friends, your peers. You can get beyond them pretty quickly once you start getting into it. I love this line. Inquiry is the #1 marker of positivity. Asking questions. Positivity is a predicator to success. It's a predictor. If you aren't positive, Anakin, you can't be successful. And I love it when you get positive, you are all over the place. And then you start thinking about your brother in in Massachusetts and these people there and the people in Philadelphia, and you get all over the place. And then you get real negative on yourself, and I can't do this. And then all of a sudden you can't think of anybody. It's true. When you are positive, you will find people. Arnold was really positive this morning. This afternoon when we were talking, and his eyes started going up and his mouth went up into a smile. He started to, oh man, I can't believe I didn't think of this. And it's positivity gets you success. Monitor the number of statements you make versus the number of questions you ask when you're talking with people. When you're asking questions, you start getting positive because you're controlling the conversation. You get that? When you're asking the questions, you control the conversation. Be open to what you don't know, because everybody has stuff that they don't know. And the best part is when you don't know what you don't know.
Like most of our clients.
Like most of our clients, and most of the way I feel too, you know. But these are things that are really helpful for you. All right, let's talk about some additional things as far as things that you're getting hit with that you want to have an answer for, or you want to talk about.
So you want to take you off of sharing your desktop?
Yep, I'll take that off. All right, guys. So you can open up your mic and ask a question. As long as Abahi and Robert are around, I'll have them answer some of them as well. But what's bothering you? What's the biggest objection that you've heard while you've been talking to your friends about this business? Nothing? James?
I have one.
Sure, go for it.
That their insurance is going to go up, or that their insurance company is looking out for them because they've been with them forever and they have a personal relationship with them. So why do they need to do anything else?
Excellent question. So there's about 4 different questions there. So let's talk them through. The first one I want to hit is the last one that you said. So they have a personal relationship with the agent, not with the back office. And we're not trying to have them change or have them affect their relationship with the front office, with the agent, because that's where their friendship is. It's not in the back office. Am I right? Is it Tepra?
Yes.
Okay.
Dorothea. This is Dorothea.
I thought that was you, Dorothea.
Hi, Robert.
So, Dorothea, that's they typically are going to have the relationship with the or with the front office, not with the back office, and we're dealing with the back office. So
okay.
it doesn't affect their relationship with them. So yes, the front office is taking care of them, but the back office is looking out for the dollar and looking out for the profit.
Okay.
That's their objective. So the insurance company is not looking out for their objectives. Otherwise, they would have somebody there that represents you. Dorothy, if you think about it through, and I use this all the time, and some people, if you've been through if you've been through it, you know what I'm talking about. I've been divorced twice. Okay? And let me tell you something. If I had my ex-wife's attorney tell my case to the judge, Dorothea, how well am I going to do with the judge?
Horrible.
Horrible.
Right.
But that's what you're doing when you have the insurance adjuster decide how much you're going to get. That's like asking your ex-wife to tell you how much alimony you should pay.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it's going to go in your favor?
Not at all.
Not at all. And so I use that example all the time because it's something that most people can really relate to a lot better than the insurance situation. People hear about divorce cases all the time at work. Maybe they've experienced it themselves, but most people know that that's an ugly situation and that there are 2 opposing sides and there's 2 opposing attorneys. Why? Because each person needs to be represented.
Okay. Yeah, okay. That's a good way of putting it. Okay. Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Who else?
Thank you for that.
You bet. Who else? Anybody
Well,
else?
I just had something I wanted to run past you.
Sure.
I had talked to another friend of mine recently, and I'm not sure.
Oh, by the way, just a second, everybody. Welcome to the club, our newest claims rep. I gotta get the paperwork in tomorrow, but congratulations, Mike.
I'll clap.
Mike, now you can give me a hard time now that you're officially in the club.
Congratulations, Mike. Congratulations.
All right, thank you.
Mike became a claims rep. Today's Monday, right? Yeah, so you got it today, didn't you? So
Cool.
very good.
Thank you. Yeah.
So well
Awesome.
done. All right, now go
So
ahead.
I just want to say I talked to a friend of mine, and I don't know if I have all the facts of this correctly, but it sounded like a friend of hers was dealing with an adjuster, and maybe there's some other independent public adjusters out there. They're not Metro, and they may have different fee structures. How do you deal with that if somebody's undercutting us?
So there are some other public adjusters out there. They typically don't deal with our claims. They're typically dealing with $20,000 or above. If they're somewhere below 30%, some companies are charging 20% or 15%, but they're only dealing with $15,000 or $20,000 or $30,000 claims. Also, how long have they been in business? Most of them have been in business for about 1 to 5 years. That's not a very big track record. So, we have 35 or 27 years. You can bet the fact that we're going to be here when you need us, and we have all that experience and all those relationships with the insurance companies to ensure that we do the smoothest and most effective settlement that you can get with an insurance company. Why? Because our insurance adjusters have been working with their adjusters for decades.
Okay, I appreciate that. One other just quick thing: when I'm doing the PCR, I've taken to kind of putting it in the in legal terms, like you're saying. Wouldn't you want your own attorney and not the other person's attorney? And also, kind of like pleading the fifth. What you say can and will be used against you. And I think that kind of works for people. It's like, okay, I need to zip it.
Absolutely true.
And last but not least, with claims that are reopened, how often is it problematic that the person doesn't have their ducks in a row? Pictures and everything else that we need to get them extra money.
The insurance company actually is required to share with us their pictures as well. So it comes out pretty often that the client is not as well prepared as we would like them to be, but oftentimes we can get what we need from the insurance company after the fact. They are required to give us any work product related to the claim.
Okay, thanks.
You bet. Anybody else? Has this been productive? Is this a helpful session?
Very.
Yes, I do have one more question now.
Sure, Dorothea. Go for it.
Okay, so I've talked to a few people. One basically sells home security systems. Another does lead testing, and everyone has heard of Metro. Okay, and I said it would be great, if you came and joined our team. Oh, they know about Metro. They were surprised Metro was still around after all these years because they heard about Metro years ago. How do you pull those people in that were interested, kind of, sort of, in now, today, with Metro the way it is today?
So I would, first off, if I were you, I wouldn't do it. I would, you're under Robert, right? You work with Robert? I would have Robert handle that conversation for you.
Okay.
You shouldn't be handling that conversation. You don't have the experience yet to handle it.
Right.
Okay, but the way I would expect Robert to handle it would be the fact that, number one, we don't have a application fee at this point. So that was a big barrier for a lot of people. They didn't want to spend $50 to get an income, to develop a career. I don't understand but that was a big issue before. Secondly, they have the ability to, on training claims, they can be a trainee for the rest of their life if they want. As like, for example, I've got a couple of roofers, right? They don't want to ever become public adjusters, but they want me to put them down as the trainee whenever they give me a client to work on.
Oh, okay.
And that way they get an extra $500. They get an extra $500, and I get a claim.
Okay.
So they're handling their client. They get a little piece. They're happy. I get my piece. I'm happy. And they don't have to worry about taking a test, or they don't have to worry about, conflict of interest or anything else that they might be concerned about, because they're simply a trainee.
Okay, so that would work for plumbers too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Robert, you're going to be going to work for me.
It's about time. I'm sorry, you give me an opening line, I gotta take it.
Hey, anybody else? Jerry, you got anything
so
for
much.
me? I'm just happy to see your ugly face, that's all.
Oh, that guy? You shouldn't talk about Robert like that. That was
Oh, Jerry.
Robert's never been good to you.
Oh, I'm sorry. Your picture was right next to Robert's. I'm sorry. I mistook you.
I understand we are twins. We are identical twins. All right, question for you. We had one person with DocuSign.
Yeah.
She was concerned about how much she was signing away.
She was concerned about what authority she was signing away?
Correct.
So all the documents indicate for this claim alone. We are representing them for this claim alone. So we are, our authority is to talk to the insurance company for this claim alone. Our authority is to talk to the mortgage company for this claim alone. Our authority is to deal with the checks for this claim alone.
This claim alone. Okay, all right, I got it.
Our authority on the contract is we are going to work for them on this claim alone. So if they have a claim 6 months from now, they have to sign another piece of work, a documentation. Every claim requires its own documentation. In fact, no, I don't think it was anybody here. But I've had a couple instances where I've written a claim. The adjuster has gone out to the location. They said, no, you wrote the wrong claim.
I had one of those recently where I wrote ice damming, and then I rewrote the claim for snow and ice so that the coverage was broader and we can get the client. And you have to write a brand new claim. They have to sign a brand new document. I've had a couple of those recently.
That's how specific the authority is, Jerry.
Okay.
It's really tight. And we do that on purpose because we don't want to jeopardize our clients.
Great, makes sense. All right, one more question. That plumber referral program.
Yes, sir.
Why should we limit to plumbers? I got a hot tub guy. I have a facilities background. So I know a few guys, HVAC guys, who would do the same thing. Should I get them to try to sign on for, what do you call it, referrals for life or trainees for life?
So, yeah, I mean, they should. So here's the thing with the plumbers thing. The reason why we have a plumbers program is because when there is an accidental discharge of water, and and the water heater just bursts, and so the entire floor is now covered with water.
Right.
Typically, a plumber's got to get involved to repair the hot water heater, right? So there's going to be a cleanup, a remediation involved. And what we're saying is that we're going to give the plumber half of the remediation fee.
Half?
If they let us, yeah. Well, I think it's half. Don't hold me to that, Jerry. That we're going to give them a portion of the remediation fee for making us aware of the claim, so that we can get them involved as part of the repair work. But if they let us get involved, if they get us involved, we'll give them a portion of the remediation kickback that we get from the remediation.
Don't use kickback. Bad word.
Come on. I said I'm not politically correct. a finder's
Referral fee.
A referral fee. Okay, but we give them a portion of that, and that's what the plumbers program is. So if an HVAC engineer is going to have the similar opportunity to have a remediation, and they might with the smoke damage that could occur from a heat exchange crack or something like that, or water. So then they might want to be in on that program. I think it's more advantageous for them to become a trainee and even get their own license at some point if they choose to. But I think that's a better route for them, and then they can work autonomously from you, and you just get the overrides.
Hey, Paul, do you have any meetings tonight you have to jump onto? I'm just making aware because
No.
it's after 8. Okay.
No.
Got your back.
Also about the, I talked to the hot tub guy last night. He does de-install and install. He had a leak last year from one floor to the next.
So when can we meet with them?
No, they took care of it. The people who the two guys that live in the house actually had him go to the media adjuster, get it done. They got all done, paid him 50-50 to get it done. They knew what they were doing. They sounded like you. Okay? So they had a clue what they were doing. So
Okay.
I told them going forward, I've known them for a long time. Give me, we got to make contact on that.
Yeah, let's make sure that they understand our program.
Okay, so
let's set up. We
Let
can
me
set up a
schedule
Zoom.
time to meet Rocky. Okay,
And then
great.
I'm still trying to figure out what we're going to do here. We got to get a claim done for you real quick here, man.
Yeah, we got to get a few done before this month's over. So.
Yeah, I know. So I'm willing to come down, man. I love coming down to see you.
All right, I'll call you tomorrow for the schedule.
Good enough.
Paul, I'm
Is
sorry.
there any adjusters here in on this call in Georgia?
Say, do we have any Georgia people on the call?
Just you, buddy.
Oh, just me.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry. I thought I had 2 or 3 people from Georgia on, but I don't.
No worries. We're gonna do some contents on Sunday. So I just, in case people like to see that type of stuff, I do try to offer that to my downline so that
Oh, thank you.
show them what things look like, and that will help them be better claims writers. And if you're ever at your family's house, you'll start to look around the house and you'll actually know what you're looking for versus just kind of looking.
If you want, send me an email or text with the logon information and the time and stuff, and I'll ship it off to the team so that they can be aware of it. Or is it a live event? You muted yourself too fast. You muted yourself too fast.
We're going to go in person.
Oh, okay.
but,
Then never mind.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
Paul,
Yes.
I'm still a little bit confused about the plumber referral program. And if you want to talk to me separately about it, that's fine. I don't mean to open up a can of worms here. But the whole sequencing of it, and based on what you just said, it just confuses me. I thought the restoration company was supposed to come in first. How is it that the plumber's referring us that the claim when he's already fixed the hot water heater and all the water's already been
No,
taken out?
oftentimes a plumber is called initially for the damage. They don't know to call a restoration company. They call their plumber.
Okay. I mean, in that instance, it makes sense to me. But if the restoration company's already been in,
You're right. No. If they've already been in, then it's
like I said, it
hard.
just
Mike, your water heater burst and your basement's flooded. Who you calling first?
what I don't know what that F word is. What'd you say?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you.
Good one, Mike. I was just testing you there. So who you calling first when you have your accidental discharge?
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, no.
1, 2, or 3?
Mike, you're out my head.
You're gonna call a plumber. Absolutely, you're gonna call a plumber first. So,
All right.
Anybody else?
I can't believe you got through a whole call and Les hasn't said one thing.
I know it. Les has been real quiet.
Sorry. My bad.
You've been playing with your kitty cat.
And the puppy.
Hey, listen, I want to thank the team. We are like number 1 or number 2 in our back office. As far as our franchise, we're like the top or the second to top franchise in the company at this point this month. So I've never been in that position before, and it's good. It's because of the work that you guys are doing. So let's write some more claims, James. Let's get some more done, man. You're writing them like crazy. Mike, you're doing a good job on them too. And Les, let's get some more claims done. Arnold, I'm going to get your first one done. Jerry, we're going to get your first one done. Anakin, I want to get your. How many do you have? You have 2 now, or do you have 1?
1.5. I'm still waiting to find out about my friend Dan in Philadelphia. I think he had 2 claims. By the way, that was a question I was wondering. If it's one person with 2 separate claims, does that count as 1 or 2?
1.
Dang, that's what I thought.
Well, no. Wait. I answered that too fast. It can be one person with 2 separate policies, and then it counts as 2.
Gotcha.
But if it's 2 claims on a single policy, then it's only 1.
Okay.
But you still get double commission, professional services.
You still get paid on it. Yeah, you still get paid on it.
I actually care more about just getting that 3rd claim.
I know. So you've got 2 right now. You just need to get the 3rd. Because you've got your brother in Massachusetts. We finished that one up, right?
Yes, not related to him. So I don't think I apply for, if there's any sort of bonus for family, it doesn't apply.
Right, but but it counts towards your 3 claims. And then you got the one in Philadelphia, so we just need 1 more.
Yeah, and I've got a couple of folks to follow up with.
Oh man, let's do it. Let's get that
following up.
Yeah, let's get that out of the way, because then you're going to be a claims rep. Because in Ohio, you don't have to take that test.
I'm still studying for it.
I know. I want you to, but I'm just saying you don't have to.
Yeah.
James, you got something?
Yeah, Paul. I know. I just need clarification as far as New York, because I got family and friends up in Long Island, and I clarification.
So here's the thing with New York. You can do training claims up there, but Robert's going to have to work with
Desi probably.
Desi to get it done. But he's more than happy to do that because it's worth it to get you up
licensed
and promoted. So, but a claim in New York has to be at least $20,000 or $30,000. So it's got to be big damage. So if you've got some family and friends that have some big damage that need some help, yeah, let's take care of them. Let's get that done.
All right.
Paul, how about a rental insurance?
Yes, sir. We can handle that.
I was thinking about more for up in New York, James, because I know a bunch of.
Again, that's going to be tougher. Rental insurance is going to be tougher because again, the claim has to be $20,000 or $30,000.
And it has to be the person who owns the property.
No, not if it's renter's insurance.
Oh, well, if it's a major rent, yeah, okay.
That would be for.
But if the renter's got damage, then you have to look at 2 claims: one for the renter and then one for the property owner. Rephrase that.
Yep.
And I would consider always remembering that despite our fee caps, the policy review is always free. And if we can give that to people, you then have the opportunity to get referrals. I know many people move in and out of New York, so they may speak.
And they got friends in Jersey.
Exactly. So I would concentrate on giving them something, that free review versus where they live.
Yep.
Great, thank you.
So,
Never turn down a policy review.
And James, Robert can do the policy review for your New York clients. And then if it comes to a claim, he can just engage Desi into it. Oh, you froze on me.
Who froze on you?
James.
No, that's his natural face.
No, he's frozen.
Uh-oh.
All right, guys. Remember 9 o'clock call, and then if you need me during the week, you know how to get a hold of me. Please get a hold of me. I'm here for you. My calendar is pretty empty right now, so I do have to get to Kentucky at some point. I don't think it's going to be this week, but probably be next week. But I'll if I have to go to Kentucky, that means I have to go through Ohio. Anakin.
Yeah, let's go.
So, and I have to go through Western Pennsylvania. and I have to go through West Virginia. So if I can help anybody in those areas, let me know, and we'll set some time up.
Paul, what's the status with claims in Boston area? In what, Massachusetts?
In Massachusetts, we can probably get our license at some point. It's tough.
What about claims? I have somebody, one of my trainees, who's got family with property damage in the Boston area.
Yeah, so I did that. I did that through Mitch. Robert, you froze on me.
I froze on you?
Yeah, no, Mitch. Bill Undercuffler's.
Oh, Mitch. Yes, Mitch. Okay.
So Mitch did that for me. So what ends up happening is that's the only time I will use remote adjuster, is because of Massachusetts, because I'm not licensed there. And that's one of the reasons why I'm going to talk to corporate and try to get my Massachusetts license again. Hiring people in Massachusetts is a whole different ballgame. They have to have a 2-year apprenticeship.
Paul, really quick question. We've got that $25 gift card. Does that also apply if somebody does a renter's insurance policy review?
Yes, it does.
Awesome. Okay, I have somebody to sign up.
All right. Hey, listen, use that $25, guys. That is an incredible thing. Use it. Get people their $25. Do a policy review and get them their $25. That's all they have to do is a policy review. Daryl, your son, should get a $25 gift card because of the policy review we did with him today.
Oh, okay. How do we? This is my first time hearing about it.
Yeah, so I need his email address and his telephone number, and I'll send it in and I'll copy you on it. But he'll get $25 just for having helped you out today.
Okay, great.
All right, I'm going to let it go at this point. Guys, have a great week. Do some income-producing activity each day, please. This is a business that builds on itself. And once it gets rolling, man, it is just a beautiful thing. I'm just going to tell you, it's really nice. And getting 4-figure paychecks every week is not a bad thing either. So just let's do it. Let's have some fun. Actually, some of them are 5-figure paychecks during the week, too. I'm just saying.
Now you're bragging.
Maybe a little bit. But hey, it's out there, guys. We can do. Every one of you can do this. There's so much business to be done out there. So many people need our help. So let's go out and help them. And give them $25 for helping. Take care, guys.
Bye. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
We are live.